right, everybody, welcome back. Social Connected 360, episode 13. We're excited about this episode. We got Coach Thomas with us. It's going to be a great show. But before we do that, I want to thank our sponsor for this show, GK, UnitedLC.com, Credit Repair. They're here. They're based here locally, and if you need someone to help you with your credit repair, get a loan, get a car loan, get a house loan, get something off that credit, learn more about it, by all means, GKUnitedLC.com. Thank you so much for being our sponsor. We're also giving away their book. All right. For those that listen, for those that share, for those that like, for those that subscribe to our YouTube channel, at the end of the month, we will be giving these away to those that will be put in the drawing that recently subscribed to us, to our channel. All right, episode 13, starting now. All right, everybody, welcome back. Social Connected 360, episode 13 in the house. We got Coach Melvin Thomas JR, Allen head coach, man. I'm very excited to have him on our show. We actually met with him about a week ago with his squad, and it's just an honor to have him on the show. Coach, how you been, man? How's everything going?
Man, I appreciate you. Listen, everything's going well, man. I've been fine. Just working. The kids been working. We're excited about our direction. We're excited about the spring, the progress we're having in the spring ball. Listen, man, we are just doing everything we can to improve and change the culture.
Yeah, man, I really enjoyed. So you at Allen now as the head coach, and we'll get into that a little bit later. We'll talk about your journey and all that stuff. But I really enjoyed. I'm glad that you invited us over to talk to the young fellas. Obviously, I'm an Allen alum, so it's always great to be home. And obviously, you cleaning up the place down there, really, really nice. She gave us a tour. So if you haven't been down there, again, we're going to touch on that later. But if you haven't been down there, man, try to get down and get up with Coach and see how wonderful the things are down there. But let's get started, man. We got a couple things we want to cover tonight. I want to get to know you. Obviously, I know you, but I want our folks and our viewers to get connected with you, hence Socially Connected 360. So tell us about your life, man, your youth, where you grew up, and maybe some of your struggles and some of your successes.
Yeah. Man. Okay, no problem. Listen, I'm a Southern boy, man. I grew up in New Orleans. Very humble beginnings, My mother and father had to work for everything. I had 3 siblings, all girls. I was the only boy. We just kind of, mom and dad, I see them grind. I had to grind. It's just like the parents here in the city, man. They grind and support their kids. But the one thing about growing up in New Orleans that's significant is that everywhere you go, there's a village, right? So there's a village that help, parents raise their kids and everybody's kind of interconnected in the neighborhood. And so growing up, it taught me how to be humble. It taught me how to respect my elders. It taught me the significance of just being present in the moment. I'm a product of New Orleans, man. I'm indoctrinated in the Lehigh Valley now. I've been to about 99, 2000, somewhere in there. But I'm just happy, man, that I'm here and I can bring myself to the Lehigh Valley and continue to grow in the Lehigh Valley.
Yeah, man. I haven't been to New Orleans yet, and that's pretty bad. I'm 41 years old. I haven't been to New Orleans. I went to Cali last year. I talked about it in my other podcast, and I'm telling you, man, I love California. It's just beautiful over there. But we're gonna make it to New Orleans. So let's talk about that though. How do you get to a point where you end up in the Lehigh Valley though? Like, how does that? Just a quick synopsis, I guess. How do you end up? Your journey to Lehigh Valley.
I can tell you, it was a journey, man. While in New Orleans, of course, in high school, I was a 3-sport athlete. Played basketball, football, and of course track and field. I didn't run track, but track and field. And
yeah.
I had a lot of success athletically and academically, and I found myself, just being one of the elite players in New Orleans. And from there, I was recruited by quite a bit of schools. I had 32 offers, man.
Wow. Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
A lot of the offers came from Division One AA schools, the SWAC schools, and stuff like that. But uh, just fell in love with the University of Colorado on my visit. So I decided to commit myself to University of Colorado. There, um, I played offensive lineman, but mind you, though, I was recruited as a D lineman after being all state and everything, and becoming a Hall of Famer in New Orleans. And playing offensive line wasn't my thing, right? But the coach, Coach Bill McCartney came to me when I was a freshman. He said, "Listen, we need help. We trying to change some things up. We need some guys who can move." And so I said, Coach, I'll try it. And at first reluctantly, but then I figured we had this guy named Rashawn Salam, and Rashawn,
Oh, I remember him.
yeah. So,
The beast.
so we had Rashawn Salam, and the coach was like, "Listen, we're trying to change our offense. We're not going to do a lot of zone stuff. We're going to do a lot of man-to-man blocking, and we need guys to move and make things happen." And so, man, wouldn't you know it, I went to the O-line and I found myself as a redshirt freshman on a second team, right? So I'm second team behind a guy named Derek West, and I'm like, I'm not too happy. I'm like, you know what? I moved this position. I expect that I'll be a starter, right? But looking back, I wasn't ready, right? So Derek moves on, and here I am. Now I'm a starter, right? And my very first year, the conference was actually the Big 8 conference then, and I did well, and I got all Big 8 honors, and then my sophomore year I became a Outland Trophy candidate as well as a Lombardi Trophy candidate, and during that time it transitioned. We took on 4 teams from the Southwest Conference, so now it became the Big 12 Conference, and I got all league honors. I didn't win the Outland Trophy. Or the Lombardi. But I was a candidate and I was in the running, and so I actually lost to a guy from Ohio State. The name escapes me now, but anyway. And so now I'm playing. I'm enjoying myself, and now I'm an All-American. When you believe it, I'm an All-American.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, I'm an All-American, and my chest poked out, and my chest poked out, and now I'm a sophomore, and I'm a redshirt sophomore, a junior in the class, and I'm like, okay, let's just get this ball rolling, man. And ended up after the season needing surgery, man. I needed my knee scoped because of the kind of way I played. I kind of played like a defensive player.
Mm-hmm.
But again, still got all league honors, and fast forward to my junior senior year, I'm an All-American. I'm still Outland Trophy candidate and Lombardi Trophy candidate, but I'm getting beat by guys like Orlando Pace, right?
Oh my God, yeah, that's
guys like Jonathan Ogden. I'm like, okay, well, listen, I'm in the running. These guys play, on the West Coast, and I'm playing in the Big 12. I mean, I'm like, okay, I can take that. These guys are, I'm one of the elite. And so, I have a okay senior year, but my senior year, I sustained, a nagging. I thought it was a nagging knee injury, right? And so I get invited to go to the Senior Bowl. I go to the Senior Bowl, and I ball out. I do my thing. I'm getting all this press, and at that time, I was the #1 ranked guard in the nation, and go to the Senior Bowl. I ball out. And now I'm in the combine. After my first run in the combine, at 322 pounds, I ran a 4.89.
Dang.
And
so compare that for our listeners that don't understand.
Well, normally guys who run a 4.8, normally like the DNs, 260, 260. I was fortunate. God gifted me with a great talent.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. So now I'm at this place, and I'm at the combine, the biggest stage of my life. I'm nervous. I know where I'm at, and this coach Dennis Green looks at me, and he pulls me to the side, And he said, Mel, it's nice meeting you. I said, what's up, coach? I'm being humble. Hi, coach.
Yeah, Denny Green in the house.
I don't mind playing for Minnesota, but he
Yeah.
says, I want you to get your knee looked at. I'm like, wow, man, what do you mean, coach? I'm out here doing my thing, man. I said, not right now. He said, I need to send you right now to the hospital for MRI. And the trainer's over there like, okay, when you gonna send you to the hospital? And so I'm in the hospital, man, for 6 hours.
Mm.
And I'm getting evaluated. I'm getting a MRI. And I'm like, what is going on, right? And I called back to Colorado to our trainer. I said, Dave, why am I here? You know, I know I had some things going on with my patella, but it turns out I had a micro fracture, and my knee was bone on bone. Now,
Wow.
I'm just thinking, hey, listen, it's painful. After the game on Saturday, I iced it on Sunday. I limp around a little bit. I'm ready to go for the next week.
Yeah, you soldiering it.
It ended up being serious, and so I was projected first, second rounder, and ended up dropping to the seventh round. And the Philadelphia Eagles, man.
Wow.
Listen, hats off to Ray Rhodes and Tom Modrak, man, and Juan Castillo. They traded a pick to Dallas, a fourth round pick to Dallas, to get me in the seventh round. And
Wow.
yeah, and so here I am getting drafted. But mind you, man, I tell you that draft was some of the worst days of my life, man. Watching everybody's name go against across the screen and knowing that this guy, you know what I mean? I'm thinking to myself, these guys shouldn't be there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And but luck would have it. Philly took a chance on me, and went to my first mini camp, and I'm literally balling out, right? I'm running with the ones. I'm feeling real good about this thing. But the stipulation was for long-term success, I would have surgery later on, and ended up having surgery, and the knee never bounced back, man.
Oh
And
wow.
yeah, listen, the thing is, it never bounced back, but it was hard to accept it at first because you know who you are, and you know what you can do. The team knew what I can do. They fired Ray Rhodes, and here Andy Reid comes in, right?
Mm.
And I'm rehabbing, and Andy Reid was a great guy, bro. And he pulled me to the side, and he said, "Listen, this is in March in 1999, man, and I read the NFL Weekly via my ex sister-in-law, and I hear that I'm named the starter, right? And they had just named me the starter in March. I'm like, okay, I'm good, but mentally I knew this thing's not holding up, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and so one thing led to another. Um, I had a meeting with the guys, and I couldn't pass the physical, and so my time at Philly came to an end. But it was a positive thing for me because they offered me opportunity to coach with Wine, and I was young. I'm 24, 25 years old. I'm like, listen, I got tears in my eyes. I'm like, listen, if I can't play football, man, I definitely can't coach. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you know, not life goes on. I leave my home in Jersey, my family, my kids, and we moved to Lehigh Valley uh, because the woman who I married um, was from actually the Lehigh Valley, man,
Mm-hmm.
Colorado, and so like all this stuff was orchestrated, man. God,
Yeah.
all this stuff that I would meet this girl in Colorado, marry her, get drafted to Philadelphia, right? 45 minutes, hour away from the Lehigh Valley, and then not being able to have a long career and settle back down in Lehigh Valley. So I've been here since. You know,
Man.
long boring story, man.
The journey. That
Man.
was not a boring story.
Yeah,
That's inspiring because obviously this happened and you probably seen it a lot. A lot of folks um
right,
that really had a shot and because of injury,
right,
I mean, it just didn't work out. And then God, in my opinion, you get put in these paths, right? And now you meet and you have a beautiful family, and you're doing some wonderful things. But man, I gotta ask you, I was 19 years old, and you might have been there. I was working at Rita's Italian Ice, and they were having the preseason camps over at Lehigh University.
Right.
And I remember I was already working at Rita's for like 7 years, and we had used to bring the cart into
Mm-hmm.
the Rita's cart. So I might have been there when you was there. I don't know if you was there at the time, but I
Right.
remember seeing all the players. Man, I'm like, man, these dudes are massive. Like I'm just,
Right. Right.
and I'm
Right.
just here, just, and I know that it's a family thing because that's what they were trying to do. They purchased a Italian ice, and I just
Right.
remember the players coming over, man, just being so humble. They wanted to scoop
Thankful.
the ice. They wanted to scoop the
Right.
ice. I was like, yeah, go ahead, do your thing. Like, and of course,
Right.
I kind of respected the space, because it was almost like just you all together, but it
Yeah.
was just a great feeling to be around all these wonderful athletes, and just
Right.
you might have been there. I don't know, maybe maybe
Well,
we crossed
you
paths.
know, I have some fond memories, man, of being in Goodman Stadium, right?
Yeah,
Stadium on campus. Uh, I remember. I would tell you this. I remember this place called the Tally Ho. Remember the Tally Ho?
yeah,
I
yeah,
guess
yeah,
it was a bar or something, right? I remember going to the Tally Ho as a rookie, and I remember one of my teammates. I'm not going to name his name. Got in trouble.
yeah.
Remember, remember the Bethlehem Police Department rolled up at the Tally Ho,
Uh oh.
and I'll never forget, man, the way they looked at us. And I remember just walking off like I was just a normal person, right? And hey, come here. You don't belong here, man. Come here. I mean, not that it's a bad thing, but I remember
Yeah.
fond memories of Bethlehem. I would have fond memories of being on Lehigh's campus. The good thing about Eagles fans is this: every day at Goodman Stadium, it was packed. I mean, people would come to see us work out in the morning under the tent.
Oh yeah.
We had a big tent with the weights and stuff back when Coach Wolf was doing the strength and conditioning, and they would just be there every day, man. I'm like, these people just die hard fans, man.
Yeah.
In that heat and wait for us to finish practicing and sign autographs, man. I remember that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I remember, just like I said, man, I knew that you all would get bombarded. So I knew,
Right,
I like, for me, it was like I was there, I was in shock, like, man, these dudes are massive. But it was always
right,
great. Everybody was real humble, man. It was a nice experience. Um, Powerful story. I can't wait to share, because what I do with Socially Connected, right? These episodes, so I kind of break them up at times to just
right.
kind of market the episode. So this whole story you just told me, man, it's gonna be phenomenal. I just can't wait. But fast forward. So now you brought up your family. So tell us about that, man. How had they handled just the transition, from being a professional athlete,
Right.
to now where you're at now?
Well, unfortunately, the woman that I married early on, we were not together. We
Mm.
since divorced. The truth of the matter is I think we're better now, right? I could tell you I'm a better person now than I was when I was younger, and our relationship has evolved. 'Cause we have two kids together,
Mhm.
and our co-parenting skill, man, is above board, right? So, but the woman I'm married to now, man, is absolutely wonderful. I think you met her, Joan. Uh,
Mhm.
Joan. So we both are divorcees, and we kind of like found each other, and we formed this perfect. I mean perfect union. So now we formed this perfect union. She had two girls, and I had two boys, right? And so now we formed this perfect family, right? Two girls, two boys. Hey, who want anything different, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So right, and so the family, man, is doing good. My wife is a God fearing woman, man, and one of the most supportive people I've ever met my entire life. She's actually from Lewisburg, Pennsylvania, and I met her here in Lehigh Valley. Wouldn't you know it?
Mm.
Met her here in Lehigh Valley. But as far as our kids, our kids are doing great. Our oldest son, Melvin, he's the third. Melvin the third. He's in state college, man, doing his thing, working hard, man. Him and his lady, they're living together, and he's doing his thing. Um, our oldest daughter, Francesca, she just graduated from Bloomsburg, man, on Saturday. So hats off to Francesca.
Yeah, man. Congratulations on
Graduate
that,
now.
man.
yeah, man. And so we're very happy about that. And our youngest son, I was on the phone with him when I logged on. He's in Dominican Republic, having a good time right now. But he's a ball player at U Albany. He played at Parkland, and so he's doing fine, man. And then our youngest daughter, Gabrielle, she's entering her senior year next year at George Washington. And so
Wonderful.
we are blessed. You know, we are blessed to have kids who have vision, have purpose. They set their own standard. You know, they're very detailed in their approach to how to live their lives and how to accomplish their goals. So my wife and I are blessed in that area.
And I think, obviously with what you're getting into now as far as coaching,
Hmm.
I think that's just
Right.
because you're coaching your kids, because your kids are around you, and that's what we do as good parents, right? We coach our kids, we try to raise them, we try to teach them, and the fact that you all come together in this union, and you have, you help your kids try to be successful, it just translates right over to what we're going to talk about
Yeah.
next. And so let's talk about that, man. Let's get into that. I know you're doing some wonderful things, but I wanted to talk to you about, how did you get into coaching right off the back?
Okay. Well, my my very first coaching job happened just by happenstance, man. I was going through rocky time, my first marriage, and I found myself headed back to Colorado, kind of clear my head. And while there, a good friend of mine, Kevin Hilliard. Kevin Hilliard, you may know Ike Hilliard, dog
Yeah, yeah. I remember
Kevin
Giants,
Hilliard.
right? Is that the
Yeah,
Giants?
yeah,
Yeah,
yep,
yeah, yeah.
yep. That's a family member. He was coaching. Well, he reached out to me and he said, "Listen, you in town? Why don't you come and just and help us out at this place called Skyline High School in Longmont?" I said, "Okay." Oh, I'm in town for a while. You don't have 8 games left. Let me come and see what I can do. And man, I tell you, man, I went to coach and the head coach was like, "Dude, listen, I need help being ahead. I need help." I'm like, okay, I'll do it, right? I'm like, I don't want no pay. I just want to do it. And then just kind of like it clicked. Like, this is who I am. I turned down opportunities, years prior because I was prideful and I didn't want to help coach my friends, and my colleagues. But coaching kids, I can do that, and fell in love with it, man. And so from there, I came back to Allentown, and I couldn't be away from my boys for too long, right? And came back, and my head was clear, and kind of like wanted to build something here, because my kids were here, and I wanted to build my life here. I was betwixt, right? I was not in a good spot mentally. I'm like, okay, I'm not from Lehigh Valley, but the woman I married, she's from Lehigh Valley, and we breaking up. My kids love this place. I'm like, I can't leave the Lehigh Valley. So am I stuck? At first, I felt stuck. I'm like, I'm stuck, so I'm here, and so I'm here for a while, and I meet my wife, Joan, right, and now we vibing, and things are working good. We're working out, and I started working at William Allen, as a teacher, and I connect with this guy named Chris Canary. He was a coach. And him, I said, "Listen, I want to volunteer. Let me volunteer on your staff." And he like, "Of course you could, right? Of course you could."
Yeah, man.
Uh,
I've been places, man.
right. And,
Absolutely.
and
We need
so
you.
right, yeah, right. I volunteered for 1 year, and man, would you know it, man? Like, something clicked. Like, this is who you are, man. This is your ministry. This is what God called you to do, and so I did, and for 1 year, and then fast forward, a guy came in town from Indiana. I think it was on like 2010, 2011 season. His name was Cedric Lloyd. They hired him, and he interviewed me, and I became part of his staff. And right now we're the best of friends, man. Me and said, now he's living out in Pittsburgh area. But anyway, I coach on his staff, and right around that time I started coaching on his staff. My youngest son, Kobe, right? He wanted to play football, right? My oldest son, played at William Allen, but he sustained a neck injury and he couldn't play no more.
Oh man.
Like, okay, all right, let me just keep coaching, help him get through this tough time, and I took some time off, and then Kobe wanted to play, and so I told Kobe, I said, listen, if you play football, we're gonna do it the right way. I'm gonna coach you. Um, and so his entire career, man, at Parkland, I didn't coach not one soul but him.
Mm.
I made a commitment to him. I said, I'm not gonna coach anyone but you. Because he had to go. He had to go to be a Division I football player, um, and I know how to get there. And so, I coached him. And then, as soon as he went to college, at Albany, we had a conversation. And I said, "Listen, I'm going back to coaching." He's like, "Pops, go do what you got to do."
Yeah.
And so, I joined Coach George Clay. I joined his staff for 2 years, and he retired, stepped down, whatever you want to call it, this year. And after last season, actually, I applied for the job, and here I am. Here I am as the head coach, and excited about it, excited about our direction, knowing that we got some work to do, but we're gonna get things done. It'll take time, but we're gonna get it done.
So as I'm hearing your
I,
stories, man,
again,
I'm
I'm
hearing
talking.
journeys,
It's a
man.
long story, man.
No, this is
It's a long
great. This
story.
is great. This is what it's about, man. We trying to. That's what I say, man. Like there's no time frame on this interview. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
okay,
We
good,
are we are here to learn about you, about your program, about your
good.
journey. And man, you're a journeyman, man. Like it's like you're
Yeah,
everything you're going through. It's like it's perfect because you get to how you share with us, obviously whoever watches this, maybe some young folks be able to watch this as well. But I know on a daily basis you are sharing little journeys with young people
right,
and really influencing them, and they know that you've been in these tough environments, so you know
right,
what it feels like to get injured, right? You know what it
right,
feels like to get let down. You know what it feels like to
right,
be in a rocky place.
right,
And
right,
so when you convey that to another human or a young child that's trying to make it, let alone whether it's college ball or just play football, you're gonna come across more genuine because you've been there.
right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's great, man. I love the journey. So you're at Allen now. I saw and we talked about it. You held, which I think is phenomenal because it brings a lot of attention to the program, to a wonderful field, the stadium, and just the bringing people to your program. So tell us a little bit about this combine you just
Right.
had. Tell us a little bit about that.
Good. Okay, no problem. Listen, man. First of all, hats off to the AD, man, Randy Atia. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something. The guy, he's behind the scenes, but man, his passion and his vision, we share the same passion and vision. Listen, man, the guy's on fire, man. There's nothing that I could go and say, Randy, I'm thinking about doing this. He like, Coach, run with it. I'm not handcuffed. He's like, this is your vision. I said, and let's get it done. But anyway, um, I guess he was approached by Rising Star Academy um, about doing a combine in the Eastern PA, right? And of course, J. Brony Crum is one of the best stadiums, bro. Hear me out. One of the best stadiums in the state of Pennsylvania, not just
Absolutely.
but in the state of Pennsylvania. And um, Randy approached me and I said, he like, what do you think? I said, let's get it done, man. And he had things in the works with Huddle, and I got involved. Being a head coach and being the host coach, you kind of like got to say, listen, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it this way, and
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna try to get things done this way. And guys just jumped on board. Guys like Bobby McLaren, dude, who was awesome, awesome guy, man. So we kind of like did some planning and some meetings, and I volunteered my coaching staff. I said, listen, the second half of the combine was about football specific drills. I got the guys for it. They're like, you need help. I said, no, we don't need no help. Guys for it. I approached my coaching staff. Hats out to my coaching staff, man. I'm gonna tell you something. My coaching staff, man, is hands down the best coaching staff in the Lehigh Valley, and I mean that, man, because these guys they understand what I'm looking for. They're passionate about these kids, and they sacrifice a lot. And so I approached them, and I said, "Listen, I want to do this, and you kind of can't back out because I committed us to this, and I know that they never coached on that stage before, but I also knew that they were ready for that, you know."
Mhm.
And so when I tell you, man, they began strategically planning with me and kind of figure out what they're going to do, how we'd be able to service all these kids. We had 137 kids, man.
Wow.
Yeah. Hey, listen. Um, one of the
Yeah,
biggest
college
events,
coaches. You had
college
college
people.
coaches too, right? Yeah,
Yeah, we
college.
had college coaches who were there to see the kids perform, right?
Mhm.
So the stuff, the running and the jumping and the 40-yard dash and broad jump, that was done on this side of the field, right?
Mhm.
We took care of the football specific stuff. And I'm telling you, man, we rocked it, man. And Coach Steph did this. It was a long day, but these guys showed up, man, in a big, big way. And I'm so very proud of my coaching staff, man. And I really hope they know, man, how much it meant to me that they stepped up the way they did. And so so we here we go. We were doing this combine, and now the spotlight is on us.
Yeah, I love it.
My coaching staff, I said, listen, just do you, man, and be you, and they did their thing, man.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, it's imperative in this day and age. Like I talked to you when I went to go meet with you when
Yeah,
me and Pete went to go meet with you. It's imperative that we and I don't want to say market, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. You have to
right,
showcase your program. You have to do
right,
whatever it takes. It's 24/7, 365 days a year. As you know, I don't need to preach to you. I mean, you already know at the pro level, it's even more than that. You got
right,
to be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 steps ahead. One day everybody's sleeping, you're training,
right,
but it's imperative to really, really showcase what you have, even aesthetically what you
right,
have as far as your stadium, like you mentioned, that's phenomenal. I remember being a kid, we all went there, man. It was the greatest thing ever. You know what I'm saying? When we played Darev, and it was just like the teams could be owing whatever, but when Darev was there, that stadium was packed,
right,
man.
right.
So and you felt the energy. So that's awesome,
But
man. Like I said, it's important.
of course, the goal is. Listen, I'm gonna tell you, Lord, the goal is it's kind of a rebranding campaign. All right. What I mean by that is this: the hat I'm wearing, this A with a wing. That's all Randy Ortega, man. Like, and we got to brand the A, brand what we're about, and just just having vision to kind of like get the community involved and being a part of the community. I know wins are important. Don't get me wrong. At the end of the day, I'm a coach, right? I want the dub, right? But what's more important is the fact that these kids feel and the community feel a connection to each other, because it's important.
Yeah,
It's important because the kids that I'm coaching will be the future leaders in Allentown, man.
absolutely,
There's no
absolutely.
doubt about that, right? And so I am tasked with these young men and women becoming better people or better versions of themselves to secure the future of this city.
Yeah,
The bottom
absolutely.
line,
And the
right?
culture. I mean, when I played for Snyder, I played right when Snyder, Coach Snyder, Doug Snyder, shout out to Coach Snyder.
Right,
He came my freshman year, I believe he came, and it was like a shift, a
right,
complete shift. And don't get me wrong, the others that were there, they worked hard. They had some great years. They had some tough seasons, and it was just a great run, right? A great run.
right,
So we're not downplaying what happened before, but when you bring
right,
your energy, you bring your style, you bring your culture, your style, or your culture, right? Or rebranding everything, of trying to bring your type of energy. It's like a perfect shift. Sometimes you just
it
got to do
is.
that. And so I could relate with that because I played under a different coach, and then
Right,
now as a young kid playing basketball for Snyder and going playing that varsity level basketball, and it was 300, like I said earlier, 365 days a year.
Mm-hmm.
24/7, man. We went
Right.
from playing in the summer leagues to, and again, many folks know this, to going to showcases, to going to Philly, going to Jersey, doing, what you're trying to do now with bringing people to the stadium, and you're doing a lot of off-season workouts. My hat's off to you, man, because it's a lot of
I
work.
think I appreciate it, man.
So tell us about. I got two more questions for you. Tell us about this. The Touchdown Club. I know
Okay.
that you got what's called a Canary Touchdown Club. You can find it on Facebook.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about this program, man. I know you're trying to, obviously, get
Right.
some help. So tell us
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah. The Canary Touchdown Club is the is our booster club. Okay. We're just like I say, we're trying to rebrand, and the current president is again my lovely wife, and but we have some parents who we connected with, and they're on board and trying to help us out in that area. But Canary Touchdown Club is we are trying to, my overall goal, right? My first goal as a program is to ensure 100% graduation rate. First of all,
Yeah.
if I don't my program, if we don't do that in my program, if we don't have success with that, we failed. There's no reason for kids to play high school sports for 2 or 3 years and not graduate. It is absolutely absurd. It's absurd. And so the Canary Touchdown Club, despite being our booster club, right? We're going to offer all kind of things for the young men and women. Just ability to have study groups, right, along with ASD and Allen. And so we're going to bring that dynamic first. But we're looking for booster club monies and people donation,
Donations, yeah.
even to continue feeding these kids when they need to be fed, not only pre-game meals or post-game meals, but if they're hungry and need a place to come to eat, we could feed them. We make sure that we upgrade our equipment as much as we can, and update our merch as much as we can. Because these kids, in order for kids, especially this generation, you got to have an attractive program, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
A program that when things are run down, it's important to put some paint on the wall and
Mm-hmm.
some things so these kids can feel pride, because enough of these kids walk around Allentown, and of course every city, but you don't want to see trash at the field house. You don't want to see grass growing through concrete. You want things to be a better environment so they feel comfortable. And I'm gonna be honest, Luiz, I want a program, and I told my coaching staff, I want to walk out my office at 7:30 at night, and I want to have the kids in the locker room playing video games, not wanting to leave. That's what I want,
Yeah.
and,
That's
and, and
that's
that's my goal.
that's a great
And
vision.
right, thank you, man. And Canary Touchdown Club is one way that we can do that with the help of our community. Now, um, why the community is so important to me, man? Let me tell you why. I am a product of my community, and I'm a product of people investing in me, right? And so the narrative that I absolutely hate is this, Luiz. People have the narrative, if they win, people will be more likely to give and support. Well, that's the backwards way of thinking, isn't it?
Oh
Think
yeah.
of, only if you win, I am going to pour into your life, right? But these kids, no, it's backwards. The
Yeah.
way it
Absolutely.
should go is that we're going to pour into your life so we can catapult you to have success. And
Absolutely.
trying to get that vision and that narrative to be the narrative surrounding my program.
Yeah,
Just
man.
support the kids. I listen. I know the W's matter. Trust me, I know. I wouldn't be coaching and wouldn't have success in the sport of football if W's didn't matter. But at this point, more than W's, man, these kids' success in the classrooms and in the community matters, because we gotta sharpen that sword first before we can do anything on the football field. So Canary Touchdown Club is one way we're gonna be working on doing it, making community connections, partnering with people and doing things just to, so Allentown will see us and understand who we are. I'm doing certain things community, with the Allentown Police Department. Man, shout out to you guys and seeing my kids and coming and let my kids see. human beings and not police
Yeah.
officers or detectives. Shout out to you guys, man, because the kids really enjoyed you guys coming. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
it's simple things like that. Seeing a guy who's a police officer or a law enforcement officer, but see them as a person is important.
Oh
It's
yeah.
important because you will see them in the community. And it's important to me that they can say hello, officer, or hello, detective, and get that same vibe back from the police officers. You
Yeah.
know, kids
Yeah.
need that.
Oh yeah, I
Right,
mean, I remember just being in there, and then the music's rocking. I mean, this
right.
was last week, and I still work out, so and many folks probably see my on my TikTok and all my other stuff. I mean, I don't go at it like I used to, just like we older, but yeah, man, they got me
I
energized. I
saw
started
you.
doing so. I
Yeah,
started throwing up some weight.
yeah. We got
These kids are
we
strong though. They're
yeah, we
throwing
got
up
that
good
vibe
weights
going.
on each side.
Right. Yeah. Yeah,
So
we got
that's
that vibe going. We the kids are excited, man, and the goal is pushing them past you know where they're comfortable. I told them get comfortable being uncomfortable because there's some pain involved in success. And,
yeah. We talk
we got
about
to
that
embrace it,
every day, man.
huh?
We talk about that every day. For
Right,
those that follow my TikTok, listen, there's a reason why I do this. So
right,
so I wake up. There's times where I wake up 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. There's sometimes I just pick up and run, right? I'll run a
right,
5K, I run a 10K. And the reason that I do it sometimes because I feel like I'm too comfortable. So
right,
I'm sitting down watching TV or I'm sitting down.
right,
So I find it that uncomfortableness
right,
taking running that 5K that I really don't want to run. It puts me in a place where I feel like man, this is me training for those real uncomfortable times in life, right?
right,
And so I could relate with that, man, and I could also relate with what you said earlier, the W's in life. See, this is where sometimes we get lost, especially in success. The
right,
W's in life are sometimes more important than the W's in the games, right?
right,
So seeing a kid that you see grow from eighth grade, ninth grade, all the way up until graduation, and then you see them go to college, they come back to you and be like, "Coach, man, I want to say thank you." That's a W in life,
right,
and that to me is more than just winning games,
right.
right? So I commend you on that, man. Canary Touchdown Club. We're gonna plug it, and I'm gonna donate to it. I'm gonna
Appreciate you.
challenge everybody on this, whoever's watching this show. I'm going to donate. I'm gonna reach out to Coach this week. I'm gonna go
Appreciate
ahead
it.
and I'm gonna donate some
We can use the help,
money.
man. Good.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt. I'm coming. We're gonna help you out. But I challenge everybody watching the show, man. This is a grassroots coaching program that really needs our help. Obviously, it's my alma mater, so I'm gonna plug it. So I got two more things. I know I said
Go
that
ahead.
earlier, but I'm over here on my list. So this is a question I ask all of my guests. Um, what advice, what piece of advice do you give a 19-year-old Melvin Thomas Jr. if you could?
That's very simple, man. I would tell them to win a day. Right? Our motto is win the day. Win a day. Every day you wake up, man, and you set goals and you work to accomplish your goals, and you don't sleep until every goal that day is accomplished. It's very simple, and
Yeah.
I would give that 19-year-old that advice. That advice has helped me become the man I am now. A better father, a better husband, better coach, better member of community, even in my ministry, man. Just win the day, it seems so simple to say, win the day, but the thing is, um, just waking up for some folks is winning, right? Just waking up is winning, right? But think about this: if you could just wake up, that's one win. But then you make your bed, that's a second win. And then you brush your teeth and you shower, that's another win. And now you in your car, you're thanking God that your car, your car will start in the morning, and that He's getting you from point A to point B, and you go to work. That's another win. And
Mm.
to win the day, man. Every day, just focus on, I could do this, man, and I could be positive. And so that 19-year-old kid from New Orleans, I would tell him, listen, man, just keep winning the day, you know?
That's the show, folks, right there. There's
Yeah,
a
man.
19-year-old, there's a 19-year-old right now that's gonna watch this show. And he gonna hear your journey. and he's going to listen to this piece of advice, and it's as simple as that.
Yeah.
In the day, and
One
we
a day.
struggle even as adults, right?
Right.
With this every day, getting
Right.
up, doing the things we do. Oh man, I mean, it's as simple as that. So you mentioned ministry. Can we just talk about that real quick?
Yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
that's important.
Right.
Obviously, let's talk about
Right.
that real quick, and then we'll jump into the last thing. And so,
Right.
tell us about your ministry, man. I know we talked
Yeah.
about it when I visited you, but
Yeah.
just real
Yeah.
quick.
So, I was ordained in the Methodist Church. Started my ministry at St. James. Fourth and Union. Uh,
Mhm.
since God has allowed my ministry to evolve and change, I was blessed to have mentorship under Pastor Thomas Sweat.
Mhm.
uh, get to our nation through that church. But now my ministry is Principal Faith Ministry. My wife and I, and we do things in the community. But the thing is we do things that no one knows. It's anonymous, right? I believe some ministries should be anonymous. People just thought should get blessings and just thank God for them rather than thanking me or my wife. So that's what we've been doing that for 10, 12 years now. But I've come to realize that I'm called to a pastoral ministry. However, man, what better way to pastor than to pastor and by being a coach, right?
Yeah,
Come on,
absolutely.
man. Huh?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right, and
Absolutely.
so I'm a coach, but I'm a man of God first, and so I always give the kids some kind of life lessons, and I always tell them the importance is you have to just be able to put things in perspective, right? You would not be here if it wasn't for someone, right? Some
Mhm.
blessing you to wake up this morning. So why not seize the moment and get better and let that someone, whatever it is, I tell kids, I prefer to call it God. I prefer to say Jesus Christ. However, why not honor that someone, right? By being
Mhm.
the best you can. And just by being the best you can, man, listen, you never know what's going to happen. And that way you go to sleep at night feeling good about your accomplishments. Now, I have to admit, coaching is the one thing that I believe can allow men to impact other men on a grand stage. And this is why I say that. Where else can you forge a relationship with young men that sometimes want to cry, sometimes want to quit, right? That sometimes going to get beat by other people, right? And have their prides crushed, right? Or sometimes, have a good practice and their head get real big and the next day, they're down again. So where else can you impact young men at a place where one day they're high, the same day they could be very, very low. And so I think God got me in a station so I can impact the most amount of kids I can while I can, right?
Mhm.
And when my time is over in this coaching game, like football, I move on. You
Mhm.
know, but my prayer is that we not only change the culture of William Allen football, but also I help change the lives through God's service and my service of some of these young men. And that's the end of the discussion for me. It's really about me. You know,
Yeah. Powerful. Powerful.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
the game itself is that powerful.
right,
Obviously, God is powerful, but this game is created and it's very much like life, like you just said, man. Sometimes you
right.
win, sometimes you
It is,
lose,
man.
sometimes you get hit real hard, sometimes you get hit and you
Right,
down and people are picking you up, you know what I'm saying? And it's just
right,
like life,
right, right.
Sometimes you're in the end zone and
Correct.
sometimes you're just cheering and everybody's going crazy and life is
Right,
great, right? And the end and the game is great. And then sometimes you're in the locker room
right,
and everybody's crying and everybody got and you telling them keep your chin up. So I commend
right,
you on that, man. this
right.
this is
Appreciate it.
definitely I got to bring you back, man. This is definitely inspiring for me. It's an honor to have you on my show. Just real quick, where can people find you? I know the Canary Touchdown Club Facebook. Is there
Mhm.
anywhere else that you want to plug, an email or something
Yeah.
you want to plug real quick?
Okay, real simple. Canary Touchdown Club at gmail.com. Listen, Canary Touchdown Club at gmail.com. You'll find us on Twitter. You'll find us on Instagram. Again, Canary Touchdown Club at gmail.com. gmail.com. Just shoot us an email. Follow us on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook. Listen, we look forward to talking to you. See, can just add something to the cause, or even just to say hello, coach, or hello, we will appreciate that. We want the community to know that we're here, that the young men are willing, ready, and able to kind of serve the community. Listen, it's their job, right, to make their community better, and
Absolutely.
that's our focus. So again, Canary Touchdown Club at gmail.com.
Awesome, man. Awesome. And we're going to have everything in the description, everything we share, the promos leading up to the show. I'm going to ask one favor from you before we let you go. Please, please, please. I'm going to send you the link for the day of the show. Plug it on Canary Touchdown Club on Facebook, man. And have all the kids tune in. I want them to hear this. I'm sure they heard some of your story before, but if you can get them together, man, and have them watch this show, this episode, it would be a great honor for me because I want them to hear your journey, man. I want them to hear how passionate you are. And again, it's an honor and a privilege to have you, Coach. I look up to you. Obviously, now knowing your, the synopsis of your story and all your journeys, man, it's an honor and a privilege to have you on SC360, man. So there you have it, folks. SC360, number 13 in the house. Coach Thomas, thank you so much.
Appreciate it, man.
Like I always say, stay connected.